Everyone, Gorgonium Gaming here, and today we're going to go through my double Maneater composition for Clan Boss. Now, I take no credit in putting this team together. This team was put together through Deadwood Jedi's website. If you haven't checked them out yet, go Deadwood Jedi's website. There's tons of speed tunes on there, tons of additional information on there as well. You can figure out which champs might be the best in your kit through Hell Hades' website. He's done a great job in creating every single champ and all their multipliers, and you can really see before you even test out a champ which ones are good and which ones aren't. But ultimately, here's the website. Here's the website for deadwoodjedi.com. And then if you go to speed tunes, you can definitely see all of the speed tunes. This is an unkillable composition. He has tons of different compositions that are all unkillable, so long as you set them up. The one I am doing today is the Easy Double Maneater. Why? Because it's easy. Alrighty, so it's here's the speed recommendations. There's a quick video from him how to create this setup. Here's some other videos from two other streamers that or two other contact providers that have set it up as well. I'm going to show you my team. My team is an easy 50 to 60 mil key on Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare, and Brutal. Same setup, no changing of speeds, as long as you follow this. So, although the speed is quite large here for the slow Maneater, if you want to do Brutal with it, it's 214 to 215 speed. The DPS here for your slower DPS or your third DPS needs to be 168 to 169. You can go lower if you're not doing Brutal, but why not, right? If you can get the speed, get it. Otherwise, speeds are quite tight on the fast Maneater and the other two DPS. There is a setup. So Ultra Nightmare takes 6 turns. Nightmare takes 5, and Brutal takes 8. So there is some variations here, but this is ultimately the team composition. On Hell Hades' website, again, he's done a great job in putting all this content together. If you haven't checked him out, hellhades.com. You can put your champs in here. For example, we'll just look up a Maneater. Tells you your skills, tells you his ratings, but the one thing he's also done is tells you the damage multiplier. So if you add attack, it's his damage multiplier is 5.5 times his attack. So you can really check out this Siphon. You don't really want to, I leveled it up all the way just because the extra cooldown, it's quite a bit of damage. But really it's the Ancient Blood that you need maxed out for this to work, which is the Unkillable buff on both Maneaters. Nothing else really needs Unkillable, but if you're looking for damage, max out the rest of his skills. They are epics, so it is a lot easier to do than a legendary. But great site to go to as well. I'll show you my team setup. So my lead is Septimus. They are not 100%, but they're good enough at this point. Septimus is running 4.5k attack with 100% crit, 225 crit damage. Needs speed, so I got him at 285 speed because he does need to land his extend. And my, accuracy is 285. Speed is 169, so that is between 168 and 169. That's perfect optimal speed. He is going the slowest of the bunch, but that means he goes first. He's lead, so he goes first, which is perfect. Full out masteries, again, none of these masteries really work for him, so I saved myself quite a few energy and didn't go for it. Skills, I mean, I have them all maxed out. It's just maxed out for damage, but he hits hard and he extends. This is why he's on my team. 30% chance to increase all buffs by 1 turn. Damage is inflicted by 30% if the enemy's current HP is over 50%. So when I'm hitting a maxed out or a void boss, he hits harder than when I'm hitting an affinity boss. Martyr is my second champ. And again, the Bastion of Faith needs to be maxed out because that's the counter attack. It works. Every AoE attack counter is going to be up. And so virtually every 3 boss turns, we are hitting the boss 5 times, which is awesome. And again, A1 decreases defense, has it fully booked. So for 75%, which lands quite a bit of the time. Stat wise, I'm on the lower end at 174. That's fine. That's within the range. Could use a little more crit rate. He does not crit a couple of times. Again, high accuracy because I do use him elsewhere, including arena, and high crit damage. So decent damage. He is a defense-based champ, so I do have high defense on him as well. Third champ I'm bringing in is Narma. Narma is pretty nasty. If you have Narma, definitely use her. Pretty nasty champ. A3 puts out 3 5% poisons at 100% chance and a decreased poison sensitivity. This does need accuracy to land, although it's 100% chance of landing. It does still resist some of the times. Sometimes I find 1 or 2 of the poisons don't land. And odd time the sensitivity doesn't land, which really sucks, but it is what it is. He also has a heal, which can come in handy if your champs are getting nuked hard, especially on Ultra Nightmare, and a decreased attack if needed. I try not to use it because that takes up a poison spot, and that's 62,000 damage that I'm losing out. And the A1, it has a 40% when booked, 60% chance to decrease 3 random buffs, which is pretty awesome. So between Septimus and Narma, I'm extending quite a bit of buffs. It's all based on this random. It's not 100% chance on either. So I might find that some runs by turn 12, I maxed out, and some runs I missed all my extends and I got nothing. So you just got to keep an eye on that. Mastery wise, again, at no point can you go anything that increases or changes turn meter on these champs, because that will affect the composition. I went with Grim Resolve here because it's an unkillable comp, and for the most part we are going to be under 50% when we're attacking at all times. So once the boss nukes us, I think it's like around 10-12 rounds, we're under 50% for the rest of the battle. So we're doing the most amount of damage here. Stat wise, just under 200 crit damage, just over. It's a little overkill, but that's how I can get my speeds. 178 speed. I'm close to 400 accuracy. I do use Narma in the arena as well, specifically in tag team. She does do quite a bit of poison damage, and she is able to heal on that poison damage, which does come in handy. Some decent attack, could be higher, but again, I use her elsewhere. Dungeons as well, she's pretty awesome. And then my 2 Maneaters. So my fast Maneater is at 219, which is right in between the speeds. I could use some more crit rate and crit damage, but I needed the speeds, and that's the most important thing. And then the other Maneater is the same, 215. That gets me into the brutal range. As you can see, 214 to 217. But 214 to 215 is to include brutal. Again, Stats pretty darn decent on the slower Maneater. Just shy of that, but again, with a full speed set, it works. And stats, they're both virtually the same. Way down here, you can take anything here in the 4th tier. None of these really work. I mean, I went resist, but he has resist built into the buff, just because I needed to do something. He doesn't do any of this stuff unless you put him in a stun set or a free set to add leech, which could work. And then this doesn't matter. Damage wise, again, my team's not dying in an unkillable comp, and I don't want to decrease any skill reuse whatsoever, because that's going to mess up the composition. So therefore, same with down here, nothing really helps. It stacks when you kill. Maneater's not killing anybody. Nothing over here really helps. So these are pretty much why my second Maneater. This is really what you want, the counterattack when they lose health. And so that is the team setup. We're going to go through a run now. So this is going to be a nightmare run, and then we are going to get started. All right. So there is, like I said, 6 rounds of setup here. So the fast Maneaters are just going to use their A1s or A2s. When I say A1, you can alternate, but again, like we saw earlier, the Maneater does hit a lot harder. Okay, you're looking at 37k. Get some poisons up on here. Martyr is going to counter right away for Nightmare. Now, put your speeds into the Clan Boss calculator on Deadwood Jedi's website. That is amazing to see at what turn can you use your counter or any of your skills. Pretty much your Maneaters are set, so it's just the other 3. This gives you real flexibility to bring any champ you want. Okay, so turn count 1, the fast Maneater is going to pop the Unkillable. So you can bring a ally attack champ, you can bring a counter champ, you can bring a poison and an extender like I have, you can bring 2 counter attack champs, 1 counter attack champ and 2 ally attack champs. The possibilities are endless with this composition. They are easier to get the speeds for, and that's why it's pretty much an easy Maneater build. You go with some of the other builds, and they are specific to the speeds, and they're a lot higher speeds, but it allows you to go to a 2-to-1 ratio, so you hit twice for every 1 boss. When you get counter attack up and when you get ally attack on a double hit, you are hitting quite a bit of times. So that's when you start to increase your damage, so long as you have the right champs. So we're going to keep going and hopefully extend again. There's Narma extending 3 of her poisons. I don't use any attacks. Oh, the Maneaters need as low accuracy as you can because their A1s do drop decrease attack if you crit, and you really don't want decrease attack to drop. So we are now on turn count 3. We are still A1ing here. Septimus will go. Fast Maneater, another Narma will go. So no extends there, no extends there. Martyr is going to counter at this turn, and slow Maneater will unkillable. And hope we can extend. Nope. Nope. So poison sensitivity will drop, and we'll see if Narma can get it up again. And this is a point where this team is a little random because of the extends, but as you could see, we now got quite a bit of poisons up. Turn count 4 was all A1s across the board. We are now on turn count 5. This is our last setup round. So A1 on the fast Maneater or A2. And then the fast Maneater will get a second turn this round. and that's when you're going to pop the Unkillable. Narma will try and extend. We got some out. We're still going to use A1, and now Fast Maneater will there, so we're just going to hit the stun. That's cool. And now we are on full auto. I will auto after turn count 9 to see where my poisons are at. I really don't want decrease attack to go out. Narma does some wonky things. She prioritizes her A2 over her A3. And her A2 is decrease attack and heal. That does come in handy later in the fight, but I really want to try to extend, which I did there, as much as I can. And then we are going to go. So I will speed this up a bit, but I'm going to manual for another few turns before I go full auto, and we will catch you back at the end. There we have it. We have a full poison bar, and at this point we can start using Martyr's A3, which does hit quite hard. Skill-wise, it doesn't matter at this point because we're not going to land decrease attack. And there you have it. So 29 mil from Narma, and that's because all her poison damage plus her damage. Martyr didn't do too much, 6.3 mil, still pretty decent, but it allowed the rest of the team to put out the damage. Septimus at 12, and he just hits hard, but helps Narma do the damage. And then you're looking at in the 5 mils for both Maneaters. I believe this is my slower Maneater, just because he has higher crit. This is my faster Maneater. Had lower crit and lower crit damage. But there you have it. There's a 58 mil nightmare run with a double Maneater comp. You really can bring any champs here. Poisons do a lot of damage. Counterattacks would help in this case. If you can do a Martyr with a counterattack champ, and a Narma will be, triple extending all her stuff at 60%. It's pretty decent to try and keep those buffs alive. But that would actually help increase Maneater's damage probably by 1 to 2 mil with the counter going up. So there you have it. A nightmare run, 58 mil. This is actually the most I've ever done. The highest I've done before this was about 57. The lowest I've done on a void run has also been about 55, 54. And that's just because Septimus isn't playing nice. So there you have it. I will actually show you Deadwood Jedi's speed calculator in the next video. So stay tuned and you can see exactly how to tune your champs with the information that you got. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. We'll see you all in the next video.